It's another beautiful day here in Seoul. Hello and welcome to Business Daily. I'm your host, Lee Ji-yoon. We have a lot on our plate this morning, so let's get started. We sit down with Korea's Foreign Office Investment Ombudsman to talk about foreign investment and how it all plays part in leading Korea's economic growth. Korean automakers are hoping to turn the tide with their new models as foreign brands continue to see a surge in sales. Look forward to these stories and more. Korea is striving to reduce the gap in working conditions between regular and irregular workers in the country while trying to create an environment where large and mid-sized firms can grow together. Now, this is a statement from the country's labor minister Lee Ki-kwon, who's attending the 104th International Labor Organization Conference, in which he laid out Korea's plans to improve circumstances for workers. He also added that Korea wants to establish a culture of fairness and competence by expanding the use of the national competency standards that outline systematic requirements for workers to perform well on their jobs. Delegates from 185 countries are participating in the ILO General Assembly to discuss issues ranging from creating quality jobs and protecting labor rights. More on that proposed merger between two arms of Korea's largest conglomerate, Samsung, JL Industries, and Samsung C&T. The latter construction unit decided on Wednesday to sell 9 million or 5.76% of its treasury shares to building materials firm KCC. The sale would make KCC, currently a major shareholder of JL Industries, the fourth largest individual stakeholder in Samsung C&T. Now, this follows attempts from U.S. hedge fund Elliott Associates to block the JL takeover, which it calls unfair. Elliott has the third largest stake in the construction arm. U.S. beef is regaining popularity here in Korea, looking to outstrip imports from market leader Australia. The Ministry of Food and Drug Safety said that Korea imported over 2,500 tons from the U.S. in the first 10 days of May, exceeding the total from Australia for the first time since American beef was allowed back in the country in 2008. Now, beef from the U.S. was banned in 2003 due to fears of mad cow disease. Negotiations over reopening the market had led to fierce protests in Korea. Despite being 30% more expensive than Australian beef, demand for American products has surged, particularly from premium steakhouses and Korean barbecue restaurants. A change in consumer sentiment is said to have also contributed to a rise in imports. Exciting news for all you car lovers out there. Korean automakers are getting ready to roll out a new lineup of cars. Now, these new car models are coming at a time when Korean auto brands are struggling to regain its foothold in the domestic car market. Our Lee Ji-young on this story for us this morning.
It's no longer unusual to see a large number of foreign cars racing through the streets of Seoul. The number of imported cars in the country has seen a significant upswing throughout the years, and thanks to the relative strength of the Korean won and smarter marketing tactics, foreign brands hit 100,000 units in sales last month, according to the Korea Automobile Manufacturers Association. At the other end of the spectrum, though, are Korean car makers who have been suffering sluggish sales. After seeing sales dip gradually over the years, in the first quarter this year, figures dropped once again, posting a 3.9% decline on year. This is why they hope to quickly turn things around. Automakers in Korea have an ambitious new lineup of cars set to roll out in the second half of this year as they seek to regain a stronger foothold in the local car market. Korea's two biggest car manufacturers, Hyundai and Kia Motors, say they will launch up to 10 new car models in the latter half of this year. Hyundai is releasing its state-of-the-art Sonata plug-in hybrid vehicle this fall. Meanwhile, Kia Motors will also launch an eco-friendly car model, the new K5 sedan, which is set to be available in July. It's the first mid-sized car to be equipped with an autonomous emergency braking system. Other features include advanced smart cruise control and a wireless mobile phone charger.
For the satisfaction of our customers in their 20s and 30s, as well as those in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, we have optimized the design and the car's ride quality.
Other local car makers are also scheduled to release new models that are expected to up the competition in Korea's automobile industry. Lee Ju-young, Business Daily.
Over the past 2 decades since the Asian financial crisis, foreign investment here in Korea has played a big part in the country's economy. Investment from other countries has contributed to sustainable economic growth in the country, playing a large role in increasing competitiveness among businesses and growth in the job market. And today we have with us Foreign Investment Ombudsman Kim In-chul in the studio to tell us more about foreign investment and its role in the domestic economy. Now, he heads the Office of Foreign Investment Ombudsman, a nonprofit organization within Korea Trade Investment Promotion Agency, or KOTRA. Welcome to the program.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, so before we begin, can you tell us a little bit about the Office of Foreign Investment Ombudsman? What's the purpose behind it?
Ombudsman refers to a high-ranking official who investigates into complaints of the maladministration of the government agencies, including the local governments and district offices. As foreign investors are doing their business in Korea, they encounter numerous difficulties, unexpected ones, and the problems. Now, these grievances arise when the government agencies apply different rules and the laws in implementation. And this happens when there is a gray area in law application. Some agencies are more favorable towards foreign investors, while other agencies are more strict and conservative. So this is where the ombudsman plays an important role in resolving the issues. And when we decide, we ask and we request the relevant agencies to stop their unjustified actions. If they ignore our request, we directly report to the president's office.
That sounds like quite a role. But with that behind us, let's go into talking a little bit more about foreign investment itself. The country, Korea, has been in greater need of more direct foreign investment in order to boost the economy. What's your opinion on that?
Okay, actually speaking of foreign investment, there is foreign direct investment and foreign indirect investment. Now, foreign indirect investment is called a foreign portfolio investment. Foreign investors buying and selling stocks and bonds in Korea. But see, when large amounts of cash move in and out of country, it may critically disturb Korea's financial markets as well as the foreign exchange markets. So foreign indirect investment is rather, we have to be careful. But the foreign direct investment has a lot of advantages we can take advantage of. For example, we can expect the foreign higher technologies would come with the foreign capital, and the FDI is a mostly longer-term investment, and they build factories and plants and they hire workers, and so we expect that FDI can raise labor productivity more, higher technology and more capital, and it also raises the potential GDP growth. So it can generate more jobs, high-quality jobs for young people. So FDI is, we cannot emphasize FDI too much.
All right. Well, what is the current status of foreign investment here in Korea then?
Overseas investment by Korean companies has rapidly increased. And back in 2006, the foreign, overseas investment by Korean companies exceeded the FDI. So in 2000, now the overseas investment is about 3 times as large as foreign direct investment. So foreign direct investment is way behind the overseas investment. So this, we need to strike a balance by more aggressively inducing foreign direct investment into Korea.
All right, shifting our gears a bit, you must meet with a lot of investors from outside of Korea. Do they tell you a little bit about the difficulties that they face while they're here in Korea? What are they and what kind of changes do they want to see?
As they come into Korea, they find much of unexpected problems and disappointment and make a complaint at times. And actually, President Park organized a ministerial meeting about a month ago to discuss the elimination of outdated, unnecessary regulations. And there I attended, the meeting as ombudsman, and several other foreign investors attended the meeting. And when, they were asked, the foreign investors, gave a lot of credit to the president for her strenuous efforts. But still, they said, they were disappointed with, Korea's overall, regulatory environment. Because, they wanted to see Korea becoming a more advanced country where, policies are, predictable and conforming to the global standard.
Well, you mentioned a little bit about President Park's efforts to ease regulations to attract more foreign investors. What are some key changes that we can expect in the part of deregulations in this part?
Recently, President Park requested the creation of an online, regulatory, information portal. When this starts operating, the foreign investors voluntary easily access this portal site, and they give their opinions whenever a new bill is drafted, and then that has to be registered on the portal, and then people just jump in and then they share their thoughts and comments, and so that naturally, hopefully we expect that they would reach a consensus for a new prospective laws.
All right, thank you so much for your insight today.
Well, my pleasure.
All right, that brings us to the end. Hope you enjoyed today's edition of Business Daily. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, same place. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.